Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered, where exactly do airplanes fly? And more importantly, why there? What makes a certain part of the atmosphere safer than others for aviation? Today, we're diving into the skies, literally, to explore the safest atmospheric layer for flight. To answer that question, let's start with the basics, the layers of Earth's atmosphere. There are 5 major layers, stacked like an invisible cake above us. From lowest to highest, they are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Each layer has its own characteristics, temperature, pressure, wind patterns, and its own risks and rewards for aircraft. But only one of them is considered the most suitable and the safest for commercial aviation. Can you guess which one? Let's start at the bottom, the troposphere. It extends from ground level up to about 8 to 15 kilometers, depending on your location. This is where we live, breathe, and experience weather. Unfortunately for pilots, the troposphere is full of weather activity, turbulence, storms, clouds, and shifting wind patterns. These conditions make flying through this layer riskier and less fuel efficient. So even though it's the closest to the ground, it's not the safest layer for flight. Now let's go one level up the stratosphere. This layer extends from the top of the troposphere to about 50 kilometers above the Earth's surface. And here's where things get exciting, because this is the layer where most commercial jets fly, typically between 33,000 and 42,000 feet, or roughly 10 to 13 kilometers above sea level. Why? Because the stratosphere is a pilot's dream. Why the stratosphere is the safest? Here's what makes the stratosphere the safest atmospheric layer for flight. Stable air. Unlike the troposphere, the stratosphere has very little vertical air movement. That means fewer bumps and much less turbulence. The temperature in this layer actually increases with altitude, which stabilizes the air. Weather-free zone. Most weather events, including storms and clouds, don't make it past the troposphere. The stratosphere is almost completely clear of weather, making it a calm, predictable space for flying. Better fuel efficiency. At higher altitudes, the air is thinner. This reduces air resistance, which means planes can fly faster and use less fuel. That's a win for both the airline and the environment. Jet streams for speed boosts. Some parts of the stratosphere contain jet streams, fast-flowing air currents that pilots can use to save time and fuel when flying with them. Ozone layer protection. The stratosphere also contains the ozone layer, which absorbs harmful UV radiation. This doesn't directly affect aircraft performance, but it's a key reason life is possible on Earth at all. So when we ask, what's the safest atmospheric layer for flight? The answer is a clear one: the stratosphere. Are there any risks? Now, no layer is perfect. While the stratosphere is relatively safe, there are still some considerations. Cosmic radiation. At high altitudes, exposure to cosmic radiation slightly increases. This is why flight crews have regulated work hours. Cabin pressurization. Since the air is thinner, commercial aircraft must maintain artificial cabin pressure for passengers to breathe comfortably. But these are well-managed risks. Modern aircraft are designed specifically for stratospheric flight, and pilots are trained to handle emergencies that might arise. Why planes don't fly higher? Why not go even higher, to the mesosphere or thermosphere, where there's no turbulence at all? 2 main reasons. Lack of air. The air becomes too thin for jet engines to operate. They need oxygen to burn fuel efficiently. Structural limits. Most commercial aircraft are not built to withstand the extreme conditions, like frigid temperatures and pressure, of those upper layers. In short, the stratosphere offers the best compromise between altitude engine performance, fuel efficiency, and passenger safety. So the next time you're cruising at 36,000 feet, sipping your coffee and staring at the clouds below, remember, you're flying in the stratosphere, Earth's safest layer for air travel. It's a quiet, stable corridor in the sky that allows us to move across continents in hours instead of days. If you enjoyed this flight into the science of the skies, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell icon for more high-flying knowledge. If you have any questions or ideas, drop them in the comments below.